What's up guys, Pete here. Welcome to Pete's Turbo Garage. Wanted to post a video of my 1994 Toyota Supra twin turbo I picked up a few weeks ago. I'll do a little walk around. Here's the interior. It is an automatic, which I'm probably gonna put a built one in anyways. And I put a touchscreen stereo in there and installed a backup camera. And I replaced every speaker in the car except for the tweeters. And I wired in so I could use the factory amp because this comes with that option. Look under the hood. Paint's okay on this car. I'll probably get it repainted here in the future. It's not the best job, but it looks pretty decent. And stock twin turbo, all it's really got on there is the intake and then a mid pipe back for exhaust. I might do a down pipe eventually in the future, but I'm not sure if I want to kind of keep it how it is or modify it any. Decent interior, not too bad. So I had to do a lot of work when I got this car, starting with just basic maintenance. I flushed out the transmission, put new fluid in there because it looked kind of crappy. Engine, flushed it out, changed the filter, took off the valve covers, had to clean them out. They looked nasty. Maintenance wasn't done on this car apparently. Wrong coolant was in there, so I went ahead and flushed the system out and put the Toyota Red in there as it calls for. Just cleaned it up a little bit. The suspension was shot, so I went ahead and put the tein adjustable coilovers. Huge improvement. It rides really nice now. And I went ahead and replaced the rear brake rotors and brake pads. And then in the front, it's got the upgraded twin turbo. I think it's the American version. Brake pads and then drilled and slotted rotors, which are great. But I finally got the car running really nice now. And the person I bought it from wasn't very upfront with the car. I understand it's an older car, but I'm a pretty upfront, honest person. He made it sound like it was immaculate, far from the case. That one question, he said it ran perfect when he put it on a truck. So apparently brakes go to, the brake pads eat into the disc driving 5 miles from a truck. Oil goes bad, starts leaking and doing all this other stuff, you know, full of crap. But anyways, luckily I'm a mechanic and was able to fix it all, and you know, it cost me a little bit, but not too bad. And I'll show you some of the old components that I took off this vehicle. All right, here's some of the old components. When I got it, the driver's seat belt was shot. I wanted to retract. I couldn't repair it. I tried, so I had to hunt some down and found some. Rear discs, they're very rough because the brake pads were digging into them. Changed the spark plugs. Tightened a bunch of the coolant lines, changed some out, some vacuum lines because it was leaking. Obviously, jackass didn't know what he was doing maintenance-wise, so it had adjustable coilovers in the front, cheap ones I'm sure, and then it had the stock ones in the back, so the back was actually rubbing on the tires whenever you hit a bump or accelerate, so they're pretty expensive tires. So I went ahead and put the tines on there. So yeah, a little bit of work, and I wasn't really able to get on the road for about 3 weeks, you know, due to the suspension, brakes, seatbelt, etc. But I should be registering here in a couple weeks. Just it's out like a month right now because of the COVID stuff. But it cleans up very well, and both turbos come on. Oh, that's one thing I'll show you when I start it up. All right, I'll go ahead and fire it up. I did install a boost gauge, the glow shift boost gauge. So this one here you can change. I think it's 7 colors. I like the green, so I kind of keep it there. Pretty easy install. And then up here you can see I have a heads-up display that so I can tell miles per hour, because this is obviously in kilometers. I'll show you the backup camera I have on here. You just got to put it in camera mode and then throw it in reverse. Oh, got some water on there because I just washed it, but that's the camera. Another pretty easy install. And then obviously my touch screen and you can watch movies and all that good stuff. But she runs pretty good. I'm about to take it for a little bit of a ride because I like to store my vehicles with the, I also have the STI and the Grand National. So since this is my newest one, I've been kind of messing with it the most. But I did take the STI out for a ride today. Ran beautifully, started right up, and the Grand National started up pretty easy, even though it's on E85. Fired up, and then no leaks under any of them, thank goodness. So that's a good sign of doing the right maintenance on them. So maybe I'll do a little driving video with this. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty much close to the stock horsepower. Nothing fancy, but it's a good riding car right now. For a little cruise here, running good. The only issue I have, and which is pretty common with 93 to 98s, is the oil level sensor. Sometimes they go bad, they get nasty. So right now there's no check engine light or whatever, but it will come on while I'm driving it. So next time I change the oil, I'm going to go ahead and pull that sensor out, try to clean it up, because they're like 300 something bucks new, if you could find them or whatever. But as long as you check the engine oil, and that's fine, which I do all the time. I know it's good. So, but it is a warning light, so it's good to have it working properly, just in case. Just let it warm up a little bit more. I'll do like a little pull with it, not too exciting. But one thing I'm happy about, I definitely could do burnouts, no problem in this car, which I like. I don't know if you can see a boost gauge, but it definitely works good. That's your first turbo. And it's got the stock bypass valve, so eventually maybe I'll throw a little blow-off valve for noise. My ultimate goal would have been to go ahead and put like a single turbo on here, do the whole fuel system, maybe push it to like, I don't know, 25 pounds of boost, you know. But like I said, I'm not sure. This is kind of an investment in my mind right now, because these things are skyrocketing. And right now the JDM ones are a little bit cheaper than the American ones for now, but I feel with the supply and demand, that number's going to change. And obviously an automatic is a lot cheaper. This is my third Mark IV Supra. I had a 98 twin turbo auto, and then another 94 twin turbo automatic. So the Japanese version's rated a little bit lower in horsepower, but more torque. So, I mean, stock for stock, you really can't tell the difference in it anyways. Getting used to driving right-hand drive, I was a little worried about it. I thought it'd be a lot harder than it is, but it's not too bad. You just gotta kind of focus more on the right side of the line, as opposed to like how we do on the left side. But it took me a couple days to get used to it. My wife scared the shit out of her, because she's obviously not used to riding in the passenger side, on the opposite side. So she was holding on for dear life. It was funny. See, like now I got the little oil light came on, so it throws the check engine light, which shuts itself off next time I start it. Sometimes I'll go for a long time without it, and the guy that sold it to me is like, oh, it does it once in a while. No, it does it every time you drive it. It's just the sensor's taking a crap, but it's pretty common, so I'm not worried about it. But anyways, since I put the tein adjustable coilovers on, the car's riding a lot better, you know. And I adjusted a little bit higher because where I live, it's a lot of dirt and bumps and stuff like that. One cool thing, one of my neighbors across the road from me got me a Supra keychain. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. But back in the day, when you go to like the auto stores, they had different keychains. Like I'm sure like the Grand National, etc. would have had a keychain specifically made. But he went to a store and got it for me. I thought that was super cool. You know, I put it right on my keychain. I'm like, you know, something like that's kind of rare to see anymore. So appreciate him for that. It was awesome. Good looking out. RX-7. No. I guess the old RX-7's out there. I don't know if you can see that little heads-up display, but it works pretty decent. It's the GPS one, so it's a little laggy. So when I get in it, it'll kind of track very slow. So when I'm actually doing 60, it'll say I'm doing like 40, but then it will bounce up there eventually and catch up. I'll have to put the drag in here one of these days and take it out and see what she'll do, like 0 to 60, 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile, or whatever. being stock, I'm sure it won't be too impressive, but you could definitely do like a little brake launch or whatever, build up the boost and go. Using the signals on this, it took a while to get used to. I kept turning on the wipers. You know, I watched one video, this dude kept doing it. I'm like, really, dude? But then I started doing it. And the problem I'm having now is when I'll actually get into the normal American cars and do it, like my wife's car particularly, I'll go ahead and turn on her wipers for some reason instead of the signal. So I'll give it a little gas here. Turbo 2 kicks in. She takes off pretty good. I don't know if you could see how slow it took the GPS to catch up with it. But even in stock form, this thing's like a freaking jet, you know? It takes off and goes. My last 94 did some weird things, like when you would do that, it'd make like a weird noise, so it needed some love. Why people get these, and you know, it doesn't cost a whole lot to make these very fast. You can do a lot of like add a turbo, fuel system, intercooler, some tuning or whatever, old lady, and make good horsepower. I think you start doing like the bottom end of stuff once you get past probably 600 horsepower or whatever to be safe, but I think you can get into mid 600 with stock engine, as long as you have it tuned correctly and good supporting mods. Barely hear that bypass. 3 of the toys in their saddle or barn here. So STI, like I said, I took this one out today, ran great, no issues. Grand National startup. I actually got the Grand National on the wheel dolly still, because I kind of letting this one sit, but just fired up, no leaks, nothing like that. Contemplating on putting a bigger turbo back on there and a looser stall converter, which I have. I think I have a 3200 and then a 60 trim turbo Turbonetics ball bearing. So I run around 24-25 pounds of boost on the stock one. Got it turned down to about 22 pounds. It can go up to 25, but I feel like it's not efficient at that range. With the other one, I can go up into 30, which I'm not. I'll keep it at like 25, where it should be, because this is a reman engine, board 40 over. Transmission can take it. It's a stage 2. I'm good to 600 horsepower with that thing, and it's an E85 car. So I might go with, right now I got the 60-pound injectors with a turbo tweak chip, and then 6AN return line, fuel pump, all that crap is in there. I think I got the Deathworks or whatever, and then the downpipe obviously, and single shot out the side exhaust. Tight fit here, but she works. And I put those bigger tires on there now for some traction, rear suspension components, you know, just a lot of love into this car. But she's a good runner, and a catch can I recently put in, and that's working out very well. Sorry it's so dark in here. And STI is just the Cobb stage 2, which I'm leaving it at. I might actually eventually get rid of the STI so I can build that Supra if I choose to. But for now, it's not hurting anything. I own them all outright, and you know, I don't drive them very often. They're kind of like my little collector cars. So maybe once a week or 2, I'll take them out. But I do appreciate you guys tuning into the channel, and I'll make some videos here eventually with the STI and the Grand National. And please like and subscribe for more content. I don't get paid to do this. It's just a hobby of mine. So, you know, trolls are welcome too. I just won't reply to you. Not a big deal. You probably ride a skateboard anyways, or live in your parents' basement. So I like their comments sometimes. But true car enthusiasts know what I have here. Supra's a great car. Grand National is an iconic car, and the Subaru is badass. Also, you know, if you take it off-roading or whatever like it's supposed to be, it handles better. People talk shit about the STI. I want to see you take your car off-road and stay with it. You'll be left in the dust, literally. That's what this car is designed for. And it does good on like small time attack tracks too, like my 18 and my 16 STI did. So thanks again for watching, and Happy New Year.